Hi, Lisa. How are you doing today?
Uh, I'm okay. It's been a rough week.
Yeah. What's going
Yeah.
on?
Well, so we were having, I don't know, I was at school and I was eating lunch out, like, it's college campus, so they have all the tables outside and whatever. And I was sitting out there and a group of students came out and there's probably, I was sitting at a pretty big table and I was by myself, but I kind of like to just sit and after being in a class, like kind of just let my brain fall out of my ear. And so, enjoying kind of just the outside and kind of the general noise of the campus. And this group of students comes out and they have their lunches, and there's more people than me. And they come and they like asked me to move. And I was like a little taken aback because I was there, obviously had my lunch all spread out, and I'd been eating. It wasn't like I had just sat down. I had been there for a while. And I was like, is it because of how I look? And one of the girls looked right at me and says to me, like, I didn't even notice how you looked. We just wanted you to move. And I mean, I am half African American, but I still have, olive colored skin when I'm in the sun. And
Yeah.
she was really rude. And then they kept like whispering to each other and laughing. And I finally just felt really uncomfortable because they wouldn't leave. And I ended up cleaning up my stuff and going because I didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's so rude.
Yeah. I'm sorry you experienced that. It seems like they almost were treating you as if you were invisible. And I can see the anger, and the frustration. I can sense that that's coming out. That maybe, they were kind of not acknowledging that you were there and just, or that didn't care and respect your space, maybe.
Well, I get a lot of like, I don't know, it's like these assumptions, like in class and kind of just on the campus. And I'll like go join a club. Like I wanted to go join um the Black Student Union. And also I have some Native American in my on my dad's side. Anyways, and so I try to join these clubs or these activities that are like that. And sometimes people will be like, do you really belong here? Or they'll say something like that, or they'll say it's not because of how you look or whatever it is, or I'll try to share something about my ethnicity or something like that, and they'll just kind of blow it off like I'm telling a lie or I'm not telling the truth. And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, sure, I'm a little lighter skinned, but I still look like that. So I don't understand what their problem is.
Yeah. It sounds like, maybe you have feelings of, not being like they're not acknowledging you as a person. They're just, making assumptions of who you are and where you should belong and where you shouldn't belong. And you have a right to be a part of those groups if that's who you are and that's where you identify. So maybe there's some fear in them that they are afraid to see in themselves, and it has nothing to do with really you. It's their own biases. But I can see how angry and frustrated you are,
I
with
just,
how you're
yeah,
being treated.
yeah. And I just want them to recognize that I have a cultural background, that I am from these different races, and that I own that it is a part of me. When I go to family gatherings, my grandparents are Black, and, like it's a part of who I am. And I want them to recognize that and acknowledge it and be okay with it. But if I bring anything up about race or anything like that, they like shut me down. oh, we don't see that. Oh, that's not even why we're doing this. Oh, and it'll go both ways. Like even if they're being nice to me or you like however it is, and no one wants to just acknowledge like I have this beautiful background.
Yeah, and you do. And I can see, still feel your anger and frustration with this. And you just want to be who you are. You just want to show them your history, your background, and you belong there. You're not an alien or an outsider. And sadly, they are blinded by their own fears, judgments, racism, even. They're not maybe giving you an opportunity to show them who you are by saying, we don't see you, we don't see you over
Yeah.
and over, but you're like, I'm here. I want you to see me.
Yeah.
And that's hard for you.
Yeah. It is. It's really hard. I really appreciate that you're acknowledging that and validating that I want to be seen and not just ignored.
Yeah. Yeah. That's maybe since we're coming up on time, we can talk about how to manage those situations better and how to have those difficult conversations with the groups that you are participating with and let them see you for who you are and you're not invisible. You are a person and you have a right to be wherever you are as anybody else. And they don't have a right to say, I don't see you.
I
Like,
appreciate
so we can have those conversations and I'll get some tools for you and we can role play. We can role play those
that.
conversations and think of different scenarios that you've experienced and just have that conversation and I'll give you some tools on how to manage it for the next time. Does
Thank
that
you.
sound okay?
Yes, that sounds great. That sounds wonderful.
Okay, great. Well, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay.
It's really hard to do that. Like, I'm like, really? This is hard. It's
I
hard
know.
to pretend because I'm like, these are legitimate things that happen to people. So to then come in and like role play it in that situation, Dr. Townsend does it so well.
He does. Oh my God. I know he doesn't even stumble. He's just like, "Blah, blah, blah, blah," and I'm just like, wow. And I'm like, it takes me a minute to think about what I'm gonna say, and I'm trying to say the right thing. So,
Yeah.
but it is hard, and especially with this topic. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it makes it harder too and makes it a little heavy, but like we said, these are conversations that had to be had. So, um, yeah. What would
And
you,
that it's
huh?
and that it happens. Like
Yeah,
people go through this all the time where they're just not recognized and
yeah.
not seen.
I appreciate that you are like so open about this and like you're not afraid of like having these conversations and you're like I'm pissed like I'm on your corner. Like I really appreciate that. I mean, it's so amazing to work with you and know that.
Well, it's amazing to work with you. And I I mean, I feel like I don't do enough. And I don't I need to find ways to do more. And that is not like I'm coming to rescue you. Like, no, because really we can't rescue anyone. That's the first thing I think. But then the other part of that is like, what do you need from me so that I know how to best support you in the
Yeah,
situations that you walk into?
yeah. And I like that you want to be there.
Yeah.
That's, that's really neat. So, what would you do for the session two? Get more information, for you, role play with you, how to manage that situation, how to have those conversations, what questions to ask. Yeah, just that.
Yeah, that was really good. I liked that role playing for sure.
Yeah. And how do you gain more competence? Taking classes, going to events that are
Yeah,
different than my own. my own experience, my own background. Um, like
Willing to be comfortable.
willing to be uncomfortable and seeing how other people view the world and experience it in their shoes.
Right.
Um, like for my assignment where we had to do something outside of our race, I went to the Jewish temple. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have because they have security guards, they have a police officer parked outside. And I that was I've gone to the temple before with my husband and I've had to go through security, but I think this class I really paid attention to that and it made me think like when I go to my church, there's no police officer sitting outside, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Because in the Catholic Church, there's no police officer sitting outside, but in the Jewish temple, there's a police officer parked outside, patting you down to make sure you don't have a gun. And I'm like, wow, like you can't even feel, they don't feel safe in their own temple.
That's
So that
sad.
just, yeah, that just really, it made me think about that I hadn't thought about before or paid attention to really. But yeah,
Right.
this class really opened up that awareness, to think about that.
Right.
So I would attend more of those events, classes, have conversations like this,
Yeah.
more frequently. And then how do you answer the questions of clients you don't have the answer to? Same, just not answer them. Say, let me get more information. Let me refer you to a colleague or let me refer
Yes.
you to this group that can better answer your questions. Because if I don't know the answer, I don't want to give the wrong answer or steer you
Right.
in a direction that is not going to be beneficial for you. So,
Yeah, I think even you could be like, and I could go with you to this
yeah,
if you go and you don't and you're uncomfortable going by yourself, I can go, we can go together. Like
yeah,
making that really like a space where
it's
they
safe. Yeah,
yeah,
support
they
it.
have
I
that.
feel supported. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so. Yeah, think that's it. Let me
I think
stop
so.
recording.